hello, welcome to round 4 of the Simpit GT World Challenge Season 3 powered by the Sim Racing GP. My name is M.Vowles as always, and today we are at Misano, and as you can tell by the pictures it looks very, very overcast. This was taken on earlier on today, but unfortunately for the drivers it is absolutely bucketing down on the track, so unfortunately for them it's going to be a very, very wet race. So let's head on over to the track and see how everyone is getting on in the practice. So our overlay systems are not working on something. Give me 1 minute and they will be shown for you. See if I can get this to work. If it's not going to work, I'm going to have some issues. Yes, we should be starting to get our information up on our screen for you. Starting to get that information coming through. There we go. It's finally decided to work. Ultimate, thank you for joining, buddy. How are you doing? So we have a new driver today on the grid with us, Mr. Cal from 420 Motorsport. He's out there in the Mercedes. Very good choice in my eyes. Doing good, you're going to stay dry. Yep, well, these guys, unfortunately, they've got a very, very wet one out here tonight. So, should be a nice bit of fun for them. But yes, it's going to be a very wet one. It doesn't look like the two female drivers have turned up just yet. Oh, this cow gets very loose there coming out the final turn. Who else? Actually, sorry, sorry. I got that completely wrong. Miss Celine Witcher is in server. That's who we were on board with when we first joined. So it looks like Miss Natalie Lee is not here. Is still in the dressing room, I guess. Well, I'm surprised Natalie, because I haven't seen Natalie on stream either today. But we also have Jaroslav Galkov, our Russian driver, here with us. We also see Mr. Kenneth step there just behind in the Camaro. Big heavy car. Hopefully that car will actually dig into the water and should help it around quite a while. We also have Mr. Stephen McAfee in his Porsche. He's been doing some practice most of the day today, so he's going to be one to look out for, because I know he's been doing a lot of practice. Then we have our Season 2 champion and Season 1 champion, Mr. Heiko Schurman. He's with us. So information that was not meant to be coming out today, but Sean was a bit confused. We do have our official dates for the next season of GT World Challenge here is going to be actually renamed to GT Europe. And our next season of GT America is also coming up, and they're going to be coming on the same day, 6 hours apart from each other. So this one starts at 8 PM UK time. So you add on 6 hours from there, it'll be 2 AM UK time, what is our normal time for our Oval and Road Leagues races. So we'll be on the normal nighttime runs for those. You want to hear the German national anthem? I do not actually have national anthems because there's one thing YouTube can actually copyright strike you for. I know that sounds absolutely pathetically stupid, but it is. And the pit lane here is a very long, awkward one because you'd think as you come past the pit lane exit, there's some lights here just on the exit, but that's actually not the pit lane exit. The pit lane exit is literally all the way around here, like near the exit of turn 3. So the pit lane is actually very long here, even though it's a very short track. But we'll have a look over at current fastest driver Celine Witcher in her Aston Martin. See how she is getting on. Yeah, DNCA strike for a national anthem. Yeah, it can happen. But there is things going on with YouTube and actually with music that you're not going to get striked all of a sudden, but what the strike's going to be is that like if you like getting monetized and it's actually making money from YouTube, I think it'll deduct like 5% of your earnings and that's it. So, but I think that's one of the new things that they are incorporating, so we'll have to see how that goes on in the future. Doesn't look like Celine does put a new fastest lap in there. 154.4. Steve McAfee, he was doing these around this time in the practice server that he was hosting earlier on. I expect him to be a little bit faster, they can get a bit more time out. I was jumped in the practice server with Stephen actually, and I was doing low 52s, sometimes pushing into the 51s. So the guys need to push it. They can't be letting me be faster than them when I'm not out there racing. I'd love to be out there with the guys taking part. But I sacrificed myself to do the live stream for you. Yeah, exactly that. So what I'll do is we'll bring up some practice times for you. Actually, no, what we're going to do is we'll bring up the current standings in the championship and we'll go over those. So currently in first you have Celine Witcher in the Aston Martin with 68 points. Heike Sherman in second on 55. Natalie, who's not here at the moment, with 40 points. Jaroslav Galkov with 31 points. Steve McAfee only just behind him with 30 points. Ken Estep on 16 points. Callum McLeod on 10. Chris Generelli on 10. Wout, who's not here, I believe he is working today unfortunately, so he's not going to be here. He's on 6 points. Alex Lafos is on 6 points. Alessandro, he's not here, he's on 2. Devon Booth, Rennie Garcia, Ola and Cal have not yet taken part in any of our races. That is due to issues and work-related stuff, so that is perfectly understandable. We have no issues with that happening, as we understand that everyone does have lives to live other than just sim racing. But we'll head back over to our timing screens and see how everyone's getting on. 2 minutes remaining, so Stephen McAfee's now gone fastest with a 1:52.7. I said these 54s were slow, and he's just proven it there, coming in with a 52.7. So I expect about another 2 laps, so this lap and 1 more, and then we'll be over into qualifying. Taking a bit steady. Oh, he's going to go deep. This is going to be off track. That's a very big off track there for Jaroslav. how Heiko is getting on. He's coming around through the same corners now. So that complex there is very, very awkward to get through and get it right. You see Heiko getting very loose there as he goes over onto the rumble strip. Rumble strips in the wet are not your friend whatsoever at ACC. Some curves can be taken nicely, some can't. Ultimate, yes, definitely. ACC is more his sim than iRacing is. He's definitely put way more hours into this. He's not as many hours as I've put in, but I've put in too bloody many. I'm currently sitting at just under 1,500 hours. So just under 1,500 hours into ACC. Terry, hello buddy! Yes, he's put way more hours into ACC than you, but you've put most likely triple the amount of hours that he's done in iRacing. But it's good to see you here. Yeah, more like 300% times. Oh yes, definitely. So I believe Steve McAfee, Jaroslav Galkov, he's finished his practice. You're under 5 hours in ACC, but yeah, but your 5 hours in ACC Ultimate is still not make you not want to race. Trust me, coming and racing with us is one of the most funnest things you really do. It's all relaxed, it's all chill. I just have to give this lot penalties when they misbehave too much. So Hogan's jumped back in, so now we're straight into the qualifying session. Luckily his automatic hit us, and it looks like that weather has got even worse. So I'm just going to bring up the game and have a look. No, the rain is going to decrease over the next half an hour. As you can see on the top right, you can see the weather is going to start getting less wet, but it is at the moment extremely heavy rain. So the guys are not going to like me for how much rain I put out there for them this week. But we can hear cars are starting to move. As you see, steam is rolling all the way along pit lane. Jaroslav Galkov's the first car out on track. There's the pit line. As you see, come on the exit of turn 3. Good luck, Budgie. Hope you have a good race. Qualify free practice, so your times are looking very good. So let's hope you can continue that run of show pace that you were doing then in qualifying. So guys, if you want to go on board with anyone or focus in on them, let me know. Sleep is our car who's going to take line first. Just to give you an idea of how much rain there is going to be sprayed up on the guys, let's have a look over at Kenner Step. All you can see is a ball of spray in front, and with this far back, imagine when that spray is getting kicked up all over your windshield. Ken runs a bit wide there. That's okay, this is an outlet. Just maybe keep it in the line there. Guys are on their first outlap. Let's see what times they can post up. This is where traction control can be your best friend, it also can be your worst nightmare for when it cuts so much power out. So it's all about that balance of how much is too much, how much is too little. As we see, Steve McCaffrey, Heiko and Cal are all still sat in pit lane. We'll have a look over at Celine. Can Heiko take the lead from the championship from her today? We'll have to wait and see. Will she be able to extend the lead from Heiko? Be a little bit more aggressive coming into there. I think taking a little bit too steady, maybe. Big slide coming through the second to last corner though. See here, you want to get into that rumble strip on the inside. That's it. Using that rumble strip on the inside will still help you get around the corner. So, Celine's last lap was a dirty lap. Was a 1:59.3, so she didn't actually set a lap time on that one. But we are going to bring up their qualifying personal bests. So as you can see, her last lap did not count. It was a dirty lap. Seems like they can keep it on track this time. But we will have a look over at Heiko Sherman, as he's now out on circuit. Expecting Heiko to do well in this rain. He's done it before. Not on this circuit. Oh, he's gone a bit wide there. That's both tyres dropped for Heiko. So this lap's not going to count, but I believe this is his out lap, so nothing too bad at the moment. And there we go. First fastest lap. Definitely off the pace there for Jarosław Galkowy, 2:03.6. But as we can see, the weather has got a little bit more worse since we were in free practice. As free practice is set to the Saturday, we are now in the Sunday in game. So lap times should be a little bit slower. I do believe I'm hearing a Mercedes rolling along the pit line. Or am I wrong and it was the Camaro? Again, as Celine puts in a 1:57.347 to put herself onto pole. Definitely want to try to keep off the braking off the curb. Looks like Heiko might go onto it a bit deep there. So, the only person who is still in the pits is Stephen McCaffrey. I'll have to see how he gets on when he decides to actually up here. As I say that, he is just coming out of pit lane right now. And as I mute my mic to have a cough, Heiko goes off track in the final sector. Well, over at Cal in his Mercedes. Like I said, first time for the GT4 series for him. He was one of our competitors in the GT America League. Throwing that Mercedes around. This thing goes even faster now, a 1:56.5. Starting to really wind up Aston Martin up now. Oh, getting massive understeer there, gone wide. Can he keep the car under control? Yes, he does. I believe he's going to let Slee pass. Well, he does. There you go, there's some of the spray coming up off the back of Heiko's car there. Unfortunately, in the rain in ACC, we do get, unfortunately, these graphical issues. Yes, that's graphical issues, even with me running at 23090s. And everything on ultra graphics as well. Even if I put this to line, we will still have those issues. As you see, look how long this pit exit is. He's out the pits for a long time. You come out right near the end. Circle 3 as you come out into it. We're going around Steve McAfee. This is the person I'm expecting to be near the front today. I think that rumble shot maybe a little bit longer. This cow has made a nerve off there. See, if I'm seeing that information correct on his dashboard, he's running 7 ABS, 5 traction control, and engine map 2. I would still be in engine map 1. Engine map 2 is the slower engine map, the saving in a bit of fuel, so not as putting out 100% full power at all times, but I would still want to be in engine map 1 and get those fastest lap times out as possible. As he says, car's oversteering for way too much. Doesn't look like he's got the setup underneath him correctly. We'll head back over to Heiko Shield. Saying that though, Stephen McAfee is about to come across the line. Let's see what his lap time is. Instantly puts himself up into second. 1:56.9. Can I step up in 4th place at the moment with a 1:59.6? Heiko with a 1:57.777. He thinks he's a Boeing. Unfortunately, Cal still without a lap time in that Mercedes. I can hear that downshift there from the Camaro behind Budgie here. So Cal is off again. Cal has towed back to the pits just to get off track. So I'm trying to do something with his setup to try and find out what is going on. How come he's getting so much oversteer? I'd say one, he needs to look up, maybe 1 or 2 more clicks on traction control. If Budgie goes off track, that's invalidated his lap. Joseph Galkov, he is actually now on a better lap keep it together and get into the sub 2 minute mark. As I say that, he's got very deep there, just pushing way too hard. It looks like he's just not getting on the brakes early enough and just let the car coast through that section. So unfortunately not able to get a fully lap time in. He is out there starting a new lap. Okay, that stuff's gone off in turn 2, looks like returning to the pits. Oh, barely keeping it in, maybe even dirtied his lap in the first sector, and no, it is valid still. Looking at the lap times. So Heiko Sherman is up into second. He's not dodgy down into third. Lap times between them very, very close. The swing goes even faster. 1:56.0. Very nice lap time from our only female driver, it looks like, today. So we go up to only 5 minutes remaining of qualifying. So our next round of the championship, we will be heading off to Hungaroring. Very awkward track, but the chicane that they have at Hungaroring, the GT4 can cut it quite nicely, not be affected by the rumble strips. Then the following week we'll be off to Suzuka for round 6. That'll be on the 14th of October. And we'll be at Snetterton, Kota, Monza, Nürburgring, Indianapolis and Kyalami to bring to the end of the season 3. And then in the new year, in January, is when we'll be starting GT Europe season 4. And also on the same day we'll be going into GT America as well. Both running on the same day. On the posters that we have that I have made, they're not been published just yet because I want to make sure everyone has their correct time zone on them. We'll also have the UK and American dates on the GT America page, just because of the time zone change, as it will be a 2 AM start. So for this track sim, we are running in the rain. We still do have a mandatory pit stop, but if I was the drivers in free practice, I didn't see any of them practicing the pit lane. Deadman, you got 3 minutes to get in the server. Get out there. You can start at the back if you have to. You've got time to get in and join. Stephen McAfee, there we go. Bangs in a 1:55.7 go in. You know what? I let you think you were going to get first, and then comes in and takes first place. So, really bright coloured Porsche of Stephen McAfee taking apart. Ah, Callum, there's no worries, buddy. Sucks that you're not on the grid, especially considering it's a wet race. And wet races being one of your best races that you have. So Celine is in the pits. I don't believe... No, she's not going to be able to get out and do another lap, so she is going to take second place. Unless Heiko can come around and take that from her. We'll have to see. Not as cutting as much as I thought he would do there. In his places you can gain a couple of attempts. So Cal is done for 159.8, so he is 2 attempts back from Canesta. So we only have 3 cars that could improve times. Ken's not going to be able to get around to start a new lap. Can see McCaffrey extend his lead. He's going to return to the pits, it looks like. Throwing it in too hard there. Car's got so much oversteer there. And right behind him on track is Jaroslav Galkov. Both these drivers, and Jaroslav Galkov has dirtied his lap, so he's just down to Heiko now. Well, I don't think Heiko is going to improve. And he did not improve, so your starting grid, ladies and gentlemen, has been made. So we're going to head over to the track intro screen for you. Went over the information screen, see that will be changed when we go back to the track, and we will go over the grid. Press drive, my stuff has not decided to work. As you can see though, it is still heavy rain now, but in the next 10 minutes it's going to start getting less, and then in half an hour the rain's going to increase again. So on pole, as said, we have Mr. Stephen McCaffrey on pole. Second place we have Celine Witcher. Third place, Heiko Schumann. Fourth place is Jaroslav Galkov. Fifth place, Mr. Ken Estep. And bring up the rear is Cal in his Mercedes. So we'll see how they go. As again, I'll bring up the championship standings as they stand as right now. Celine does have a good lead over Heiko. That could all change today though. But Heiko will need to pull his finger out of his arse to be able to do that. At the moment his lap times don't seem like they're going to be able to do that. But as we know, all the races does change. So Natalie Lee, she's not here today. Ken Estep, he's here. Callum McLeod, he's not here. He's in the chat. Chris Generelli, he's not here today. So Stephen McCaffrey could jump up. So could Jaroslav Galkov in this. They're definitely gonna be able to. Yes, Callum, you are currently P7 in the championship, and you're not racing where you could gain a lot of points today, and not be tied for that 7th place with Chris Generelli. We're just waiting for the cars to get ready to start. We are on the full formation lap in GT4s due to the fact of no tyre blankets for the GT4 cars. Yeah, that's the thing. Deadman is actually not too bad when it comes to wet racing. Just dry racing, he sucks. Does like a little bit of a bit better when he doesn't try to do anything different. We're heading back onto the track because I can hear the cars firing up now. Lights are on, windows are wiping. Exactly, it's a it's a bit of a slidey surface. He's a bit better off. So as we can see, cars will be pulling off very shortly now. There we go. I'm trying to get as much heat in the tyres there as possible to turn the traction control off. I was trying to get that traction control back on as quickly as possible though. There's one thing you definitely don't want to forget about Rossville and start get going. As we look on board from Joseph Galkov in his McLaren. So Budgie is on the inside for turn 1, not quite on the racing line though for the start. More on the dirty side of the track. So we'll have to see if that takes play in anything that happens to later on. Seeing in the Aston Martin. Very weird wiper blades on this car. My eyes needs a big massive bit in the middle like you can always see. So we're coming to a 1 hour race as always. Can't wait for us to get our new seasons into gear for our GT3 crowd. At the moment we are running our GT4 series. Let's see if Cal does have that traction control back on, he does. More from the Camaro. Not a very good dashboard on the Camaro compared to some of the other cars, but it's still a dashboard unlike the Alpine. So if you're running any type of view in the Alpine that doesn't have the steering wheel in view, you can no HUD because all the information is actually on the steering wheel itself. As we now go too wide, as we come up to the rolling start. Steve wants to get alongside Stephen McCaffrey here. He'll be purely side by side. So we will watch out to see if there is any false starts. And we are green. Stephen gets a better start from Stephen, but Stephen is on the inside. As Heiko dives inside as well. Heiko's trying to be brave. Might have been a little bit of contact there between Cal and Mr. Jaroslav, but nothing showed up. So can Stephen McCaffrey keep this lead at start of the race. I'm going to quickly have a look in game to see if anyone had a jump start. No, everyone behaved on the start, so we are good and clean to go. So we're going to head on board with Celine. As you see in the spray of that Porsche in front of her. Back at Kenneth's step. Unfortunately, I've already lost one place. Let's see if he can keep in the fight though. Heiko Schumann, how's he going to cope through the race? Is he going to be able to capitalise on any mistake that anyone makes? And is he going to be able to take the championship lead? It's going to be hard. He needs to make. If he does, Selena's going to have one really bad race. Because look, Gatlin's McAfee's already pulling away. Stephen McAfee, as we come into sector 3, nearly 1 second lead already over second place. So Ken is already falling back. Unfortunately, he's 3 seconds back off the Cal already. Everyone getting all spaced out, nice and early. This is the time that I would want to try to capitalise, try to cause someone to mess up their own race, not by hitting them, but by putting pressure on them. That's a normal thing they give a bit of graphical play about. That could have just been on my display, I'm not sure. Hopefully it was just on my end. As you can tell, it is very, very wet out there for these drivers, and it's only going to get lighter over these next couple of minutes, and then it's going to get even heavier than it already is. So everyone about second half gap. Ken unfortunately is a bit further back. This was the Stephen McAfee out front, just absolutely pulling away, showing the line that you should be taking in the last sector. Celine goes deep. Open the door there a little bit for Heiko Schumann. Look at that gap already. It's nearly a 6-second lead at the front just from going through the first set at 1:52.655. And as always, the insights, the overlay system is all given to us by the lovely people at ACC TV. If you have any knowledge of how to make custom UIs, we can also incorporate that instead of running the standard ACC TV. So do let us know if you do know anything. He is absolutely pulling away from it, so we're going to hop over to Heiko Schumann and see how he's getting on. On catching Celine. As you can see, he's got Jaroslav Galkov right behind him. This here, you want to be completely flat-footed, absolutely giving it the beans. Slight lift here, cut the corner. No cut the corner from Heiko. Slight lift there, now brake lightly, now heavy braking. Off the brakes, accelerate, go run wider than there. Come in, Heiko getting on its brake and getting back on accelerator. looks like he overslowed the car coming into that turn. So it looked like he had to take a double stab at that corner to try to get it around properly. A Celine, which now goes fast as we were on 52.64. That was 2 attempts up faster than Stephen was last lap. As we can see, Jaroslav Galkov, he is sticking with Heiko Schumann here. Is he going to be the dark horse? Is he going to come around? I do apologise guys that I'm not talking much. I'm feeling very, very woozy at the moment. My painkillers are kicking in from my back because it's been playing out. So my back is feeling very, very tired. I also have an eye infection in my right eye at the moment, so I'm struggling to see as well. Not a good time for me at this precise moment. Out front is still Mr. Stephen McAfee. Really showing everyone how to get around Mazzano. Down into that open. Using just the right amount of curb. Not losing too much, just getting enough perfectly for turn 1. Go for turn 2, turn 3, yes, we're looking very, very nice. So I'm just trying to keep an eye over the grid and a little bit equal gaps now across the grid. The only person that's close is Jaroslav Galkov to Heiko, but even there he's just dropped a little bit further back. But we are seeing Cal really looking like he does. Saying that, Stephen McAfee has gone off circuit. Maybe breaking a little bit too late, just trying to push the lap time. As Heiko has gone off wide. Let's let Jaroslav Galkov come past him. Now the pressure really is on Heiko because he is running out. Natalie, welcome to the chat. Thank you for joining. Shame not to see you out on track tonight. Celine is doing very good. Lap times are looking very well. She's been very consistent. Stephen McAfee is slightly pulling away though in sectors. So across the line, we'll see what their last lap size was. 153.5 for Stephen McAfee and 152.9 for Celine. So she did gain quite a bit that last lap. So this will keep Celine in the championship lead as it stands right now. Running a little bit wide, keeping it back in though. These two, the only ones who are cutting that corner correctly. That's it, getting on the brakes just before the dip, letting off, getting back onto the brake. Just a Galkov giving a slow moving sign. But he is not moving slow. It's a false speed on my screen. The Heiko Sherman is absolutely falling backwards here. Very unlike Heiko. As we get a new fast lap from Stephen McCaffrey now. 152.5 from Celine's 153.7. Well, sorry, 153.0 that last lap. So all that time that she gained the lap before, she just unfortunately did lose. It's Heiko Sherman. Really looks like he's struggling here today. Let's go on board the Heiko. Let's see how his inputs are looking. A little bit too deep there, so that's going to cost him time getting on the throttle. Trying to brake on the rumble strip, it's not really good. That's going to make the car go deep as it is. So Celine's had a bit of an issue. She's fallen back outside of 2 seconds now. Steve McCaffrey at the front. Let's have a look how high we are there. Just not cut the curve. So there's not a full throttle there. So brake down in a straight line, head towards the outside curve. Then turn back in off the light brake. Full throttle brake. McCaffrey on 152.5, but Celine comes in straight away after us with 151.672. Track does look like it's getting a little bit better out there, but the weather is going to get more worse than it already is now. Psycho again, trying to run the rumble strips in the braking zone, and it's just not working for him. But we'll hop back over to the front. Because this is definitely, I would say that Budgie is definitely smuggling something today, because he's absolutely flying. So yes, he could be a smuggler, and he's most likely wearing his Budgie smugglers. McCaffrey, there you go, squaring off the corner, V-shaping it on the way out as much as he can, trying to keep the car as straight as possible. Unfortunately, only a small amount of cars on track. We're not going to get a dry line forming, but she's sliding the car in. A little bit wide again. So I hope he's not. Don't want to make it go too wide, because otherwise he will end up getting time penalties if needed. These two, the gap between Celine and Jonathan Galkov currently sitting at 6 seconds. If it comes out of this section, it'll be more closer to 10. does look like Stephen is getting some corner exits better than Stephen. We do see Kenneth, he's still trying to call that Mercedes back. A bit too tentative, I think Ken is. Not used to the rain. As Ken's just put it into the wall. I say he's being too tentative. And it looks like he gets a big foot front throttle. And it just looped on him. Big heavy Camaro. That back end's not going to want to slow down quickly. Do go back up to the front. We'll stick with Celine. What I'll do next lap. And final turn to turn 1, we will go on board for a whole lap, so let's go on board with Celine. Because I won't let him drive a Ford, it's because there's no Fords in GT racing at the moment in ACC. We'll have to see if the GT3 and the GT4 come. They should do in my eyes. So guys, again, I apologise, but I am not being very good at commentating today. I am feeling very unwell. My body is very exhausted. So if anyone would like to jump in to help commentate, you're more than welcome to. Let me know. Just around 40 minutes remaining of the race. Very short lap here, even though it doesn't seem it, there's nearly a 2-minute lap. So Selena laps that. 2 tenths off of no, sorry, 3 tenths off of Steve McAfee at the bottom. Who's out in first place. Just like Alcon for further. Nearly 10 seconds back from Celine. And Heiko Sherman. 7.7 seconds back from Jaroslav. This could have massive implications for Heiko further down the line in this championship. Celine 8th made the championship. A couple of rounds left to go at this rate. So Heiko really needs to put his finger out and show us why he is back-to-back season champions. Spray just put the Celine up a little bit too much when she gets in range of Stephen. When that spray comes up, looks like she backs off and goes, no, I don't want to get involved in the spray. So have a look at the front spoiler. Just see how much water is on the track. back on power, all the way. That 3/10 faster than Steven, so it's all about these two going back to back on lap times, but it's just there's always one way, then the other one, then the other one. Not one of them was able to keep it. That's a perfect gap for the lap times, unfortunately. So 2-second gap for Steven. Can he keep it? We're just nearly coming up to 3 minutes away from pit window opening. Drivers are going to struggle with their tyres in the rain. Especially at the start, it looked like it's heavy rain, but then it was getting lighter, but then it was getting heavier again at the halfway mark, so we'll have to see if anything else happens. Ken is showing that he's going slow, but he's not. So guys, I am unfortunately starting to really struggle, so I am going to put the autopilot system on for the broadcast. You're going to tell me that there's no Nordschleife for this season? I don't know. Yes, there is. It's round 10 of this season, Callum. So it will be here. It will be on the 11th of November for Nürburgring. This is now brought up the one screen I didn't want it to bring up. Hence why I was doing everything manual today. Brought in our grid positioning cameras. Jaroslav Galkov, it went into the pits early. Again, Jaroslav throwing away races left, right and centre. Pit window is not open yet. Pit window is open in another minute and 12 seconds. So that's just given Heiko back third place with a big cushion now. And not just a big cushion, a cushion that he's going to maintain as everyone has taken yet another pit stop yet. So you see Cal here defending from Jaroslav Galkov. This is now actually full position from Jaroslav coming into that pit early. Jaroslav's showing that Cal is in that wrong engine map, being in engine map 2. He needs to get the car up into engine map 1. As we are 10 seconds away from the pits now opening. So far as Jaroslav, this is when I want the pits, this is why I'll die for it. Not like he did and go early. get out front is staying about equal, but look how far they are away from Heiko. Heiko to Stephen McAfee is nearly just the stop time for the pits. That's how much of a gap Stephen has already pulled out. He keeps pulling it out even more that time. Now, laps cover laps, consistency, lap times are coming in at faster than Celine. So Heiko is in the pits, Joseph Galkov is in the pits, unfortunately for his second stop. Cow, he's making his pit stop right now as well. Ken Steps going in the pits as well, so everyone's in the pits. No, sorry, Ken did not go in the pits. For some reason my time screen said he did, even though he had not. So we are sticking with this front place battle because it is the only battle unfortunately at the road. We'll stop that auto cam system. So I'll do a little bit of manual control then. No, Cal is one of the 420 Motorsports drivers. Is still put out in front. We're saying that just of Galkov and he's got into line of traffic. Cal's lap pit stop has not registered as a clean pit stop. So that could be interesting. Looks like Cal has not pitted and changed his tyres. It looks like he might pick up fuel because he has come out in front of Heiko and Jaroslav, and he should not be in front. He will need to take that pit stop. Ken Estep is now into the pits. Cal doesn't come back in and take another pit stop, unfortunately for him. He'll get a massive, massive time penalty at the end. He needs to come in and change those tyres. Exactly that. What we need, Terry, is Woot, Stephen McAfee and Ken Estep all on the top three. That's what we need. All those at the top will be perfectly fine. We have 667, 668 and 669. So Ken is in the pits. Cal is staying out on track as pit stop's not validated. He's only got a couple more minutes to come and get a validated pit stop in. I'm going to put a message in game, guys, so give me 1 second. Oh no, Ken Estep's got a drive through. As we did say, they do get cleared. I think that's the capitals of what's not right. So you can see the track is going to get wetter for the guys and girls. So we head back over into the track. Cal is back in the pit lane. So Ken pitted, but unfortunately for Ken, he did speed on pit lane, hence why he did get the drive through. I need, there we go. And one more screen for myself, there we are. So Celine is still currently out on track. And not only did Ken make his pit stop, Ken's pit stop also did not register. I believe Ken is going to get around in time. Need to get into there, Celine goes wide. Okay, we'll have to bring it into pit lane this lap. Ken driving backwards on the circuit then. So bring up my screens, there we go. So Ken is in pit lane now, so he might have just been to make it back. He did break the beam coming into pit lane, so that time penalty will be effective in his pits. We'll have to see if Celine's pit stop is registered as well. If it hasn't registered, there's no more time to come back in and take another pit stop. And it has registered, so Celine's pit stop is registered clean. And she is out in front of Stephen McAfee, but she's down on the cold tyres. Stephen's tyres will be up to pressure and up to temps. This is where Stephen now can capitalise and pull this back. Otherwise, it is going to be a race. That rain is getting heavier out there on that circuit. Pit window is now closed, so Ken's pit stop will register. But obviously, he had to stay stationary for another 15 seconds for that speed in the pit lane. There's also Joseph Galkov now with a drive-through penalty as well on my system, but he does not have one. Not that I can see that he is registered through here. So the problem about running ACC TV is ACC does not put out the information to these on the things that the overlay system works on, so we cannot actually see these. It's the only issue that we have. Steve McAfee throwing the car two sideways there. Definitely not what he wanted with that. So these tyres will be nearly up to pressure by now. So it's Lena Richard from Stephen McAfee from Heiko, Jaroslav Galkov 4th, Cal L in 5th. Kenneth Stop is still in pit lane. I do believe he's holding the car back. Give me 1 second, guys. I do apologise. I do apologise for the dog barking. He can be a right pain in my ass some days. Yeah, Kenneth, as I thought, he was going to retire after having one pit stop not work, get a drive through on that pit stop, and then have another pit stop they had to take with that 15-second penalty, because obviously we removed it from the drive through, dropped it down to that time penalty for him. No, we're definitely not going to have more dog. If anything, I'll strangle the thing. It's quite fun. The little dog is the one that yaps. The big dog doesn't do absolute diddly squat. But with 21 minutes remaining, can Stephen McAfee get his first place back from Celine Witcher, or is Celine through the pit stops going to take the lead and the win? Again, we will have a look at the championship standings. As you see, Celine Witcher is up in front, Heiko is second, Natalie Lee in second, Jaroslav Galkov 4th, Stephen McAfee is in 5th. So we see a car off track in front of them is Cal completely off track, but making sure he stayed out there wide so he could let the leaders by without having getting interfere on their race. Because unfortunately, due to the pit stops and penalties that we've had in this race, we only have this race of first and second now. There's massive gaps between third, fourth, and fifth. Look at the spray come back off this Aston Martin into Buzzy's face here. Cal is showing us going slow. Cal's had another spin. Did he drop a tyre along the grass and have a rotate? We'll have to have a look. Oh, And our replay system does not want to work again. Okay, Ken, I'll have a look at the times and everything like that, buddy. Because you weren't the only one who the times didn't look like it worked for. But I will double check everything as much as I can through the information. So Stephen McCaffrey still trying to catch Celine, but Celine's actually pulling away. It's not good for Budgie. Very good for Celine. We're going to make her championship points even more further. That's all good, Ken. Don't forget, my replay will save automatically as well, so I will be able to have a look back, not just through the stream, but also look back through the replay itself. But as you did show, you will still end up getting points for today anyway. Stephen McCaffrey, only 17 minutes. He needs to start putting his finger out if he wants to take this win. So, Stephen McCaffrey, time last seconds slower than Celine. Needs it to be the other way around at least, and consistently at that, so you have a chance of catching. Yeah, as always, you can always blame Terry. Just remember that, Ken. You can always blame Terry. As Budgie goes wide, needs to make sure he slows. Keeps gaining time there, he will get a time penalty. Yeah, it's very awkward. I only need crew chief to tell me pretty much if there's a car side by side to me now. Because he just gives that little bit more info than the in-game one does. Budgie's still falling backwards to Celine. Heiko Sherman 40 seconds back from Stephen McAfee after all his problems today. Joseph Galkov 43 seconds back, having to take multiple. So when I seen he was in the pits before, so there we go. That's what I seen when he came into the pits before the pit stops. It wasn't for a pit stop, it was the Surfing's drive-through penalty that he received. So that's a massive shame for him. Cal also having a drive-through, that also having his pit stop not work and not registered. So Heiko Schumann 40 seconds off. That's all down to his pit stop and his driving today. I think Heiko heavily needs his update done. There we go. Stephen now putting his lap times in. 1:56.1 to Slings, 1:56.7. He needs to continue on that pace to just even have a chance of taking this first place away from Celine. But Celine's done absolutely everything she needs to do, just playing away, lap by lap. Just holding the gap, just knowing where he is, just going, no, we'll sit there. Heiko's just about to come up near me. Next person Heiko could overtake would be Cal. We'll put Cal a lap down to him. See Heiko coming through turn 5. Cal just come down to turn 6. Getting massive understeer. Calamy's doing you, chucking all the turning lock in and not turning around. Drivers are really struggling with how wet it is. Stephen McAfee has gone off track and had a big loss of time again. 7 seconds behind Celine. Just looping it into the hairpin. That's definitely costing him maybe this win now with only 10 minutes remaining. So Celine, all she's got to do now is just keep her nose clean for the next 10 minutes and 26 seconds and she will have another win. Academy, you don't do anything that's in the dry. Actually, if it's dry, you spin. If it's wet, you spin. If it's ACC, you spin. If it's rally, you spin as well. Exactly that, Terry. If Cal turns on his PC, he crashes or someone spins. does look like Celine is now in coasting mode. I don't believe Stephen McCaffrey's going to start pushing to you, trying to get these lap times back. 7 seconds in a 9-minute remaining race. That's not going to come back at all. All he can hope for is to drive through the speed for track limits. Nearing the end of this race now. Unfortunately, because of how I'm feeling, it can't come quick enough. Really starting not to feel well. I have to take a couple of days off the PC. Just try to get myself sorted. And Heiko Schumann has got past Cal. Looking why we're getting white flags for Celine and... Hang on a minute. I think that time is closed a little. No, I think that's just because of what section of the track they were in, unfortunately. Heiko Sherman in third. As you can see, he's a long way back from the other drivers. So he coming just to technical last second as we see Cow in the background going well wide again. Looks like he's just not slowing down in time. Joseph Galkov, he's still mounting around. He's going to come home in fourth. Cal being 81 seconds behind. It's a long way back. That's nearly a whole lap. So Cal has just started to the new lap now. As Joseph comes into sector 3. Back front by 6.9, yes, 69. Celine is still out in front from Stephen McCaffrey. As they come into sector 3. We'll have a quick snap over to Stephen McCaffrey exit. It did look like there was an incident, but that was not. It was lying to us yet again. Last up at 1:57.1. Stephen McCaffrey at 1:58.4. Falling back now drastically. So I do believe this is going to be our final standings for today. Just looking at the highlights in the in-game, it does show that penalties were cleared. So we get messages saying that there is been penalties cleared, but we're not getting told that there's penalties that have been been sent. So Cal up one place. If we had radicals in the season. Terry, I need to get you into the BMW M2s. Literally, just proper touring cars. And is everyone in the same car? It makes them look fun. Low power. Not really anything you can do to them. They're slower than the GT4s. That's because Radical has downforce. And well done on the win the other night in the Radical race. Jaroslav Galkov in the pits again. Jaroslav Galkov, second time today, has served a drive-through penalty. Yeah, unfortunately we have been low numbers tonight, Joa. We did lose Ken during the race. And unfortunately Miss Natalie, she did not show up today. But we've just come to near the end now, so I believe we will have one more lap to go. At the time Celine gets around to turn back to start with. No, we didn't kill Ken, the pits did. So this will be the final lap. That track definitely did get more wetter in the final stages. So we're looking on board with Celine. I think Heiko needs a massive update, Joe. He has struggled massively today. No penalties. Just absolute chaos for him. Fell back from the very start. It's Lee Richer all the way up to the pit stop spots, running in second behind Stephen McAfee. Looks like Stephen McAfee had a longer pit stop. Looking at the pit stops now, he was stationary in the pits for only 3 seconds more. That 3 seconds would have brought them out side by side. So that pit stop where she came in later than he did, put it right to the very end, made it so she brought home the win today, it looks like. But it will be another win for Celine. She's come around now. Coming into the final turn. And it will be Celine Richer bringing home yet another race win in a very, very, very wet Lozano. Steve McAfee coming home in P2. Next across the line will be Jaroslav Galkov, who will secure P4. Looking like he's got some front end damage on the car now as well, so he's gone off into a wall again. So he sees himself P4. Heiko Sherman, he's coming around next, he's just coming into the final corner. Heiko looked like he was pushing in some corners very too hard earlier on as well. Good up for our newest driver, Cal. With the GT America drivers, he's coming around for his final time now. Oh, spinning it on the final corner. Doesn't want to drive too far in reverse to gain will disqualify you for doing that. Let's see, he comes home now to bring home 5th place. Guys, absolutely chaos race today. Well, so thank you for everyone who did show up and take part in today's race. It's been a chaos, as always. But taking home 1st place is Selene Witcher. That makes it 3 wins out of 4 now for her. Can Heiko call it back in the next couple of races? We'll have to wait and see. But for myself and everyone at Simpit, we will see you next time. Take care everyone, and we'll see you next time.